A few months ago, we had the pleasure of visiting an elderly man by the name of Paul Anthony. Mr. Anthony had been retired from his job for 5 years and lived on a fixed income. All his life, he had cared for his family, and 6 months prior to our visit, his wife had passed away. He was a faithful man and strong in his convictions to the Lord. He always had a smile on his face, always had something good to say about everyone he met. Mr. Anthony told us that one sunny afternoon there was a knock on the door. The visitor introduced himself as being from the IRS and indicated the house would be sold in 90 days for back taxes. Knowing he had always paid his bills and taxes on time, Mr. Anthony became confused when the IRS representative asked for the past receipts. He did not know where the receipts were and was unable to find them. With that, he was given 90 days to pay or vacate the property. After the man left, Mr. Anthony began to pray. He opened his line of communication to God and had faith. He knew, without a doubt, he had paid his taxes. Almost 3 months went by, and with only 2 days left, his neighbors grew concerned, yet, despite the seriousness, Mr. Anthony kept his faith and cheerful countenance. With only 1 day left, the IRS man returned. Mr. Anthony stated, "I have 1 more day." The representative stated, "I know. I just came by to put up the for sale sign." "Well, then," was the response, "would you like to come in and have some tea?" Graciously, the man accepted. Mr. Anthony engaged in a pleasant conversation. "Before my wife passed, she would have made a very special herbal tea for me. I will make us some." As he began to prepare the tea, he noticed old tea boxes on the shelf and remembered his wife had kept important papers there. He began searching through the boxes and found the tax papers and receipts his wife had safely put away. Calmly, he went back to his guest, offered the tea, and said, "I felt that you would find this to be interesting reading material, stamped with taxes paid in full." The faith of Mr. Anthony was enough to keep him encouraged through a difficult time. We all have trials and tribulations throughout our lives, but what becomes important during those experiences is how strong our relationship is with God.